Hi, so welcome to Qigong Live Online on this Tuesday afternoon, and it's a great afternoon, that sunshiny day again. The rain stopped for some reason. We've had 2 weeks where it's just stopped raining, and normally we're in the middle of the wet season. So we had this really funny torrential rain to start off with, which was early, and it stopped. But I'm not saying it's not going to come back, but at the moment for the last 2 weeks it's been beautiful sunny again, so in the middle of the wet season. Go work that one out. I can't. I'm not the weatherman. So we're doing our new warm-up things, which I really like. In the elbows. And I'm using my hips for my elbows. It looks like really fast, doesn't it? When I watch it on the TV, it looks like it's going like a rocket. So I'm just letting my elbows flop, and they come up by themselves. Yeah, very good. We do our shoulders. Remember, our shoulders, we're going to use our hips for our shoulders. So we use our hips backwards and forwards to move our shoulder. Now remember, I'm not using my arm, I'm just using my hip going back and forward. My hips making my arm do the circles. Go one way, go the other way. Good. Then move my hips backwards and forwards. Let my arms, wrists, and elbows relax. My shoulders relax. Good. Hips forward and backwards. Make the arms go forward and backwards. You can see what I'm doing. I'm moving my hips forward and backwards to make my arms. It's making my shoulders go forward and backwards, and so I can relax my elbows, wrists, and shoulders all at once. And all that's happening is I'm just moving forward from the back, from my shoulders. Well, I'm moving forward from my hips, backwards and forwards. And I just let my arms relax, and they go backwards and forwards by themselves. And then we go from side to side. What I've noticed is doing these exercises, these warm-ups, is how more relaxed my body is during the day. Other than when I'm doing these classes, my body is it's just different. I'm just learning how to just let go the whole body. I think it's great. Cool. And then just do figure 8. Still doing with our hips. Very good. Good. Let your neck go. Flop your neck forward. And I'm doing my hips backwards and forwards to move my neck. I got a new one the other day. I can't remember what it was. There was another one I worked out how to do something else with my body. Tuesday, I have to go back and remember. Maybe I'll remember while I'm doing it. Forward and back, and then side and side. The thing is that the spine goes for two when I do this. The whole spine flops from side to side as well. Maybe I've got to try and keep the spine and just flop the neck. That's different because the whole spine wants to go flop, flop, flop from side to side as well, not just the neck. So in some ways, doing the whole thing. So the spine's going up, and as the spine goes, flop to the whole spine, not just my neck, the whole spine flops to one side. It comes up, and then it flops to the other side, and then comes there, and flops. And I've just noticed the more I keep doing this, it's becoming more apparent of what that feels like inside my body. And I can feel that right down to L5, where L5 is just going from side to side. It's like a ragdoll thing, isn't it? Cool. Then move our hips in circles, and as we do the circle, just let your head relax. Just let your hip flop forward and backwards. This is the Pink Floyd exercise. That's my sense of humour. This is keep the loonies off the grass exercise. I'm just dating myself that I know Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd are my favourite band, by the way. When I was young, I've got every Pink Floyd album. They were extraordinary. They were so above their time when they came out with their music. When Dark Side of the Moon came out in 85? 85 or 65? I can't remember. It was 85. It was on the top selling album in England for 8 years. It was number 1 for 8 years. That is a phenomenal feat, isn't it? It's still on the charts, it's still in the top 20 albums. But it was number 1 for 8 years. consistently. That's phenomenal for one album. It was that popular. And even today, all the youth and all the young people still know who Pink Floyd is. Yeah, phenomenal. Very good. Good. Now, I'm going to do my spine now. We've done one of the ones for the spine. We've gone forwards and backwards. So we're going to do the same one. And of course, when you do the neck, yeah, see, the whole thing does it that way too. So we're doing two things at once. We do our neck and our spine, because when I do that, the whole spine's going. So it's hard to isolate just your neck to go forward and backwards like that, to flop it when you're moving your hips, because the whole thing goes forward and backwards. The whole spine's going forward, the whole spine's going backwards. Yeah, it's hard to isolate that. And it's hard to isolate it that way too, but it's easy to do that one. That's my favourite exercise, that. Pink Floyd exercise. Okay, moving on. Now, spine. We've done forward and backwards. We've done side and side with the spine. What we need to do is rotate the spine, and that's easy. So we go from one side and lift the other. I'm moving my hips and just let my spine relax. And now my spine's going this way. Yeah, so and that's getting more freer as well, by the way, as I keep doing this. I can feel the L4, L5, and the rest of the spine just follows afterwards, slightly behind, to get to the neck, and the neck slightly behind. I've got to train myself how to let go of that exercise. Weird feeling. Cool. Okay, knees. Move your knees for your hips. I'm moving my knees forward and backwards, not my hips, even though my hips are going forward. I'm relaxing my hips. Good. Knees side and side. Circles with the knees. Back the other way. Good. Then get your knees, your hips to move your knees. So let your knees relax to go the opposite way now. So instead of doing your knees, moving your knees to relax your hips, now we're using our hips to relax our knees. So you swap it around. And now I'm going to move my hips and let the knees relax. Same exercise though, feel totally different. Forward and backwards with my hips, and I first feel my knee flopping forward and backwards. Side and side with my hips, relax my knees. Yep. Good. Then I can do circles, and you can doing circles with my hips and relax my knees, and I can also feel the circles in my ankles. Back the other way. Very cool. One foot. Just wiggle your foot, just like your hand. Wiggle your hand, wiggle your foot. You can't do both feet at both times, for obvious reasons. You could if you were sitting on a chair. That foot's getting more and more relaxed every time I do that. It's getting more flexible. Circles. Back the other way. Very good. Flip the other leg. What's his foot feel like? Circles. The other way. Shake the whole leg. Shake the whole leg. I'll move my hip to shake the leg. Good. Flick the whole body. There you go. Good. We'll bow, eh? Well done. Ah. That's great. Go. See, so what came up just then, I bowed. And what came up was what happened on Tuesday, because I actually completely forgot on Tuesday. It was all about being okay with change, being okay when you're planning something is going to go somewhere, and then be able to be flexible enough in your mind And I say your mind, just to go, okay, well, that's not going to happen. Let's go do something else. And be able to click that in really quickly without getting attached to trying to make something happen when obviously it's not happening. And it's like, oh, yeah, we want to force something because that's what we really want to do. And go, instead of going, nope, that's not going to happen now, so we could do something. And just completely change it. And just let the other one go instantly. And I think that's a real gift. And I practice it because I think, because then you allow yourself just to weave through life and things just happen without a lot of control, because you're present to the moment, but you're just letting it happen. And we were doing exercise on Tuesday about what it's like to let go inside the exercise, about doing an exercise which you think you know how to do, and then I just changed it, and then watch our own minds not wanting to change. Our minds go, no, you don't do it that way, you do it the other way. And then reprogramming our mind to think differently, to let it go and say, okay, well, we're just going to do it a different way. I thought it was really useful. And so as I say, go back and watch that Tuesday class. And it's because something actually happened that I had to, and it's still going on at the moment, and we just had to change what was happening and just be okay, go, okay, well, that's not going to happen. And it's a big thing. Okay, we have to move that one to that one. Okay, let's just do that then. And watch the process around trying to hang on to the old thing, not wanting to let it go. Saying, oh, we'll do this thing, but I'm still got a foot in the other camp, still wanting that to happen. And how do I just let that one go and go the other one and just not attach to that one at all? And I've got to the stage, but it was interesting watching my process around letting it go and not really letting it go. But I have now. I've had a bit of time now, but it's just like, okay, it's gone, finish. It's like going somewhere and you get a flat tire, and as soon as you get a flat tire, you go, oh, I got a flat tire. Oh, well, I'm going to be late. That's okay, go and change your tire. Because there's nothing you can do about it. It's just something that's beyond your ability to change. And so how do you just adapt instantly to something else happening in your life? I remember we're doing exercise, because I want to keep talking, but I want to do an exercise which we can. So which one do I want to do? Oh, that's interesting. It's not interesting. I want to talk, and I'm going to exercise. The exercise that came to me is not a very easy exercise to talking. Okay, okay, work this one out. Okay, we're going to do scoop the sea, part the clouds. And so I don't know how I'm going to talk going up and down, but we're going to work it out. So step forward with your right foot, heel first, then the toe, and then come forward. And it's like scooping energy off the ground, out of the ground. Pull the energy out of the ground, up your body, and then you release the energy into heaven. Oh, and I got a tree right in my face. I'm going to go slightly that way. And come down. Good old nature. Come down. Pick up the energy. Pull the energy up from the front foot. And it is transfers, because remember the weight changes from the front foot all the way now, more weight on the back foot. And then breathing out on the way down. And then breathing in. And breathing out. Yeah, I lost my train of thought, so obviously I wasn't meant to be talking about anything at all. But it was about our ability to let things go and just move with what's happening in the present moment. And not be fixed on things, and that's not easy. And men especially, I'll own my part because I'm a man, especially me. I won't say every other man, I don't know what other men do. But me being a man, we always like facts and figures, and we like things structural, and we like things organised. Not all men, but I do. And so then when things happen like that, to be able to adjust and let it go is not the easiest thing to do. But I have got 1,000,000 times better than I used to be. And just move with what's happening. And going back to being just in the present moment, whichever direction we've gone. That's a great exercise, isn't it, eh? Breathing out. And changes from the front foot to the back foot. Breathing in. Good, we're going to stay with the exercise because something's happening in the exercise. So when we go down, think of the energy, the yin energy of the ground, underneath your foot. And I want you to draw it up your foot, the foot that's on the ground, that's the front foot, and draw it up the foot, and your hands are bringing it up inside the leg, and it brings it up inside the body, and then turn it, and then release it out the hands to heaven. So now it's going out that way. But when you're here, it's connected to the ground, it's coming all the way from the ground, all the way through you, and it's going straight out. And so you're standing there with energy pulsing through your body from the ground through you, and you're not doing anything but just letting it go out of your hands. Don't try and hold on to anything. And we come back down again. And grab the energy from the ground again, comes up through the leg, comes up through your body, up your leg, through your body, through your torso, and then up and then out through your hands. Good. Change the other side, give you a bit of a break, come to the other side. Stepping forward again, heel toe, going down. Grasping the energy from the earth, up your leg, comes up your leg, through your body. I can just feel it filtering through the body and then out through the hands, and just let it go through the palms. And when you're in this position, you feel the energy. If I just stopped here, I actually will stop. I'll stop and just look where I am so you can see where I am. Just stop there. And breathe in from the ground and then breathe out through your hands, yeah? And make that even easier. Breathe into your lower dantian from the ground, breathe into lower dantian, and then breathe out from your lower dantian out the hands to heaven. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Breathing down, and I'm looking up and you see a squirrel in the tree just above me, watching me do my class. It'll be really weird if he starts doing exercises, and then it'll be really weird. Breathing in, out through the ground. He's still there. Good. Breathing in from the ground. Now you remember your weight's on the back foot, so you're breathing in from the back foot, out through the hand. Ball, something else happened then too. And then breathe out on the way down. Breathing in through the ground, in through the foot, into your front foot. In this case, it's your left foot. Breathing into your left foot, into your middle dantian, or your lower dantian. And then breathe out from your lower dantian, and breathe out through your hands into heaven. Good, and stay there. Breathe in from the foot. And as you breathe out, feel the hands being extended into the sky. And you've got an arch in your back. Take a breath in again. Breathe out through your fingertips. Yeah, that's great. Breathing out on the way down. Cross your hands over, breathing in. Lower down to your end, breathe out through your hands. Breathe in through the back foot. Breathe into the sky through your hands. With the hands grasping into the air. Could breathe in through the foot. Until you lower down to your end. And breathe out through your hands. Good. And then bring your hands down. Good. Come back to the front. Good. But we need to do the same on the other side, otherwise we're going to be walking strange the rest of the day. So bring your heel toe on your right foot. And we're going to go down the same thing again. So reach down into the ground, bring the energy up through your foot to your lower dantian, and then breathe out through the hands. Good. Stay with your hands in the air. Breathe in through the back foot now. The back foot will be your left foot. Breathe in through your left foot, out through your hands. Feel our hands getting longer. Feel your hands reaching into the sky. Good. We'll do it one more time. Bring your hands down, breathing out. Changing weight from the back foot to the front foot. Scooping up the energy in the ground. Comes up through the leg. Middle down to your end. And then breathe out through the hands into the sky. Breathe in through the back foot. Breathe out through the hands. Good, and then bring your hands back down again. Ooh, the hands are humming. So you can be able to feel all the pins and needles in your fingers. You should be able to feel it anyway. If you don't, it's okay. You'll feel the pins and needles in your fingers. Yep. So there's a practice. I'm not sure who came up with the practice. A practice where you look at your head and you stare at your hand. There's one where you stare in the mirror. You've seen that one where you stare in the mirror and you start changing forms and things. Well, there's another one where you stare at your hand and your hand starts changing, because it's your hand, and your hand is depicted in the monastery school philosophy that your actions of your hand come from what you do in your heart, in your mind. So everything you do in your life, your actions that you do and what you do in your life, is an extension of what's going on with you as your actions that go out. And they see that the actions, what you do with your hand, whether you're driving or you're digging or whatever you're doing with your hand, shaking hands, whatever you're doing, healing with the hands, if we use that modality, everything you do with your hands comes from you. So your hand is part of you, but the action of your hand dictates what you're doing. So a car's an easy one. If I move the car with my hand, then the car moves, but my hand is doing that. So the action comes from my mind or my heart, however I drive, and it's coming into a physical form, and then my hands dictating my actions through motion. Yep. And so part of that is the hand that's what they call it, grand ultimate fist, or Tai Chi Chuan is grand ultimate fist, or grand ultimate strike sometimes, or grand ultimate hand, depending on what school you come from. And the monastery school talks about grand ultimate hand, but it's more about the actions of the hand. It comes from a great ultimate source. So they're talking about that the actions of you as you live in your life come from a connection from heaven through our heart, and then it comes out into our existence with life. That's if you have an experience that you're connected to something outside of yourself. Otherwise, it just comes from your mind. And it comes from your mind to your hand, and that's about as far as it goes. So I'd encourage you having a bigger one than that, and go out and have one outside of yourself and bring that intention in. And the intention comes through your mind where you make a choice, and the choice goes to your heart, and your heart is your physical actions. So your heart drives your physical actions. So it goes from mind choice to your heart, to follow your heart with your actions of your hand. Yeah, and that's the monastery school philosophy, which is a very, very cool thing. So it gets some of it out of you, out of the road. But what it does, it bypasses your mind. The only thing the mind does is make a choice to follow the guidance of heaven. That makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? Instead of putting our mind what we think we should do, our subconscious already knows what we should be doing. So part of that's that. Okay. So back to the exercise, we're going to do a different exercise. So we're going to do an exercise that opens your heart, but you've never done this exercise, so we're going to show you what this looks like. So when we do Zhang Fu Qigong, you have your hand on your heart. So we put a hand on our heart. Now remember, for men, you have your right hand on your heart, your left hand on your heart with your right hand over top. For the females, have your right hand with your left over the top. Yep. Now I want you to think in your mind, take your mind intention to your own heart. Yep. And all I want you to do is think of your heart and think of the word relax. Introduce the word relax to your heart. That's all you have to do. Now, if you could take your pulse at the same time, you would actually see, you could monitor it, you could actually see that your heart would start slowing down. Yep. But because we don't have the technology right here, unless you know how to take your pulse and hold your heart at the same time, but you'll notice that your heart would actually just slowly slow down. Good. I'm going to give it another couple of thoughts. So that's to quieten your heart. Yeah. The next thought you're going to give to your heart, and this is out of the monastery philosophy, is to bring the consciousness or the idea of gentleness or gentle to your heart. So we've introduced the word slow to your heart or quiet to your heart. Introduce the word gentle to your heart. Now, something we want to do with our heart too is sometimes when we talk about philosophy in the heart, and philosophy talk about having a calm heart and a quiet heart, but there's one part of the heart that you really want, and that's a powerful heart. Yep, because sometimes we're trying to make the heart this lovey-dovey thing that's just nice and soft and cuddly. No, we don't. That's part of it. That's the yin part, the yang part of the heart that's really powerful. So I want you to introduce the word power to your heart and see how it makes you feel. Good. It changes everything, doesn't it? Introduce the word strength to your heart. Oh, Here's an interesting word. This keeps to keep coming to me. Introduce the word determination to your heart. Oh, there's another D word comes straight away, straight after that one. So that one's determination. The next one to your heart's discipline. Introduce the word discipline to your heart. So now our heart's gone from this quiet, relaxing, but inside that place of rest is this really powerful, strong essence of your soul lives inside your heart. It's not soft. It's anything but soft. You're bigger than you think you are. Yeah. And that's what you're looking at. Good. Now I want you to take a breath in. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine inside your body the energy of your heart expanding. Yep. So take a breath in. Feel your heart expanding. So the strength and the power expands. The gentleness expands. The stillness expands. The quietness expands. Good. And leave it expanded and breathe out. Good. Now I want you to breathe in again and let the heart expand, the energy of the heart expand again. Yeah, feel it expand. Good. It's still inside your body at this stage. And so feel your strength expand as well. Feel the discipline expand, the perseverance. Oh, there's another word that comes from the courage of your heart as well. Good. And breathe, leave it there, leave it at expansion and breathe out again. Breathe in again. This time feel your heart pushing against your ribs either side. Pushing down into your lower abdomen and pushing up into your lungs, and feel it pushing out towards your rib cage as it expands. Take a breath in. Leave it expanded. Feel the power. Good. Now I want you to breathe in as your heart this time, and I want you to feel your heart energy push against your rib cage and then go right up to your throat. So you can feel your heart energy underneath your throat. So it's expanded from your heart to the throat, expanded to your each side of your rib cage, and I want you to expand it right down to your groin area on the in-breath. Leave it expanded, breathe out. Good, breathe into that again. Underneath your neck, side of both rib cage, right down to your lower abdomen. Good. Good, this time breathe in this time, and you feel as the heart expands right to the top of your head. Good, goes right down into your pelvis. Good. And then leave it in there and expand, and then breathe out. Good. Next breath. Same thing again. Breathe in. Feel your heart energy expand to the top of your head. Feel your heart energy expand all the way down to your sacrum, all the way right down to your hips. Good. Leave it expanded. Breathe out. This time as you breathe in, feel the heart energy expand to your top of your head and then down both arms. Down to your sacrum. So now your both arms are expanded. Now I'm going to make this easy for you to feel this. So what I want you to do is take your hands off your heart. Just leave your heart strength there. Leave your power there. Bring your hands down your side. This time breathe into your heart. Feel the heart expand. As it expands to the top of your head, down to the sacrum, and then out, down both arms. Expands down out. So your heart energy is right into your fingertips. Let it expand. And then breathe out. Leave it out there. Take another breath in. Feel the heart energy expand from your heart, expands out, down your arms to the top of your head, and then down both legs, right down to your feet. Leave it expanded, and then breathe out. Breathe in, feel the energy of your heart expand, down both arms, top of your head, down to both legs. As you breathe in. And breathe out. Leave it expanded, breathe out. Do it again, breathing in. Feel the expansion going down your legs, top of your head, both arms as you breathe in. So energy from your heart. So your whole body's energy is your heart energy. Good. Now I want you to break from that posture. And I want you to go off one leg and just stand on one leg. Just stand on one leg. You can stand on your heel if you want. I don't teach this, but of course you can stand on your heel. And I'll bring your foot back so you're straight. Don't have a bent leg, straighten your leg. One foot's just bent. I'm standing on one leg like we normally do. You can stand like that if you like. No, stand like that. Good. Now I want you to expand your heart to your whole body just by an in-breath. Just stand there quietly and just with your intention, just expand through it your whole body. Good. Move to the other side. Flop to the other leg. Put the other leg out so you're standing on one leg. Take a breath in, expand your body to your heart to your whole body again. Good. Now I want you to look out though. Don't look down. Look out. And feel the potential of your whole body being connected to your heart. So your heart energy is in your whole body and you're standing here as one big piece, but you're all part of your own body. Good. You can imagine yourself walking through the mall, if you have a mall around your place, or a shopping centre, whatever, and walking around the shopping centre with your heart expanded to both your arms, both your legs, and walking around the shopping centre looking ahead. Imagine what that feels like. I don't want you to close your eyes though, just imagine what the intention of that feels like, to be that energetically big and be full of your heart energy walking through the mall. Notice you don't need anybody to notice you, because when you're that big you really don't need anybody to see you. And the freedom, you can just walk through there and nobody can see you because you don't need them to see you. Good. Swap feet on the other side. Swap on the other side. Good. Standing in the bank. Not that surely everybody stands in the bank sometime or other, or somewhere where you got to stand in a queue at the train station or the bus station, or when you're flying. Stand in the queue. Expand the energy of your heart right out to the outside of your body, to both feet, both arms. Standing in the queue with your trolley, waiting for your flight, and stand there as your whole body is your heart, the energy of your heart. Stand there. Good. That feeling. That's what you want to remember, what that feels like. And you can do this anytime. You can sit in your car. Think of sitting in your car. Expand the energy of your heart so your hands on the steering wheel, right down to your feet, touching the pedals. Feel your whole body in the heart. Good. Be that. So inside that place now, not only is your heart, but your whole body has courage. Your whole body has power. Your whole body has strength. Your whole body is this big. It has discipline. It has gentleness. It has softness. It has stillness. But it also has the power, and you're just standing in the queue. That big. And you can claim that feeling anytime you want to, because you know how to do that now. You can be sitting there having a cup of tea with somebody, and they're sitting on the other side, or having a coffee if you do coffee, and you can be sitting there, the other side, hold this and expand your body's energy so your whole body is your heart, and talk to them and sit in that place with them, because you can. And learn what it feels like to be that big inside yourself, and how much comfort comes with this, how much lack of need you have for the other person to like you. You don't need them to like you when you're this big, this energetic face coming from your heart, and you feel this in your heart. You're looking at them. Well, if anything, all you do is you just want to help them. You want to help them. But you don't need a lot from them because you're this big. You're already okay. You're done. Your heart's this big energetically. And you know your heart's connected to the earth through your feet. And you also know your heart connected to heaven. So you're standing in this place where this physical body has this energetic self that's connected to heaven and earth, and you're talking to somebody. Okay, there's not a lot you want. You might want some lunch, but other than that, there's not a lot for you want. Yeah. So that the potentiality of that we can create, that anywhere we sit, just think, sitting in the plane, you go, whew, energy, whole body. Walking down the aisle, energy, whole body. Energy from my heart. Notice I'm not saying energy from your head either. Energy from your heart, whole body. Walking down a street, and busy street, energy of the body from your heart, whole body, walking down the street. So we limited ourselves in thinking that our heart's just this little thing inside our chest, and we think of our soul. So if we think of it then as in a bigger form, where energetically our soul isn't just living in your heart. Your whole body encapsulates your soul's energy. But you also know your soul's energy can go outside of your body as well. But that's another thing. It's another class. But this stage, we're just getting the idea of your soul is your whole body, energetic body, and you're one big soul, and you're occupying that, and it lives in your heart. So you expanded your heart, you expanded your soul. So now your body's walking around as your soul's walking around in the world, walking down the road as your complete soul this big, standing in the supermarket in the aisles, your soul's this big, your character, your personality this big, not just the piece of your heart inside it. We put a boundary on where we think our soul is. It lives like this tiny little thing inside your heart. No, it doesn't. It lives in the whole thing. But your soul can actually go right out. Your soul can encapsulate the whole of them all if you want to. Your soul can hold the whole space if it wants to. But let's just do the body first, and be aware of the energetic field when we're walking around today. So I encourage you today, when you walk around wherever you are, just wherever you go out and feel yourself that big, and walk down the street knowing that your energy from your heart right out to the outside of your body, right down to your fingertips, right down to your toes, and your whole body is your heart. Your whole body is your soul, and you're walking around as your soul walks around, not in a physical form, but as the energetic form that fills up your physical body. And feel what that feels like for the day. That's my pre-Christmas prezi, to have that experience of what that feels like. Yep. And what comes with that is the freedom. Yep. Have a beautiful week. Look at, I said that and all the hairs on my arm stood up when I said the freedom. Yeah, exactly right. Somebody felt that then. I just felt you. Yeah, the freedom of being that big, eh? Very cool. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. I'll see you next Tuesday if I don't see any class, or otherwise I'll see you next Thursday. Getting close to Christmas time. All back on your thumbs. Left hand underneath, right hand on top. Go. Very cool. Take a step back and bow to everybody in the class, and everybody else is going to come and do this class. And I don't know why, but we needed to do that today. Who knows why? Somebody might watch this in a year's time, needed to hear that message. All the people watching it today, you needed to hear that message. I don't know. Take from it from whatever you like. Have a beautiful weekend. It's a lovely time in the world. It's a lovely time because we get close to Christmas, where people are kind to each other. Well, in theory, some of the families, when they get together, they feud a little bit, but in theory, it's a time of family and community, which I really like that. It's one of those beautiful times of the year where people are kind. Like New Year's Eve, everybody walks around and wishes people a happy New Year. We say do that the whole year, it'd be good. Bye-bye. Love you all.